Glad you came here to view the video. It's just the uncut truth. Storytelling with King. I'm glad y'all here. I'm glad y'all showed up because this is a very important message that I want y'all to sit and listen to and take heed to for real because it's important. We all go through it. We all been through it before. Remember, there was a time in my life where I didn't have nothing, and I was trying to figure out a way to get something. Where it was just like, wasn't nothing coming my way. Wasn't having no luck. I was doing good deeds. I was doing good things for people, helping people out. But it just seemed like I couldn't get ahead. And I didn't even have much at this time. When I was doing these things, I didn't really have too much. But I would still help a person out that needed. If I can help you, I give you the shirt off my back and the shoes off my feet. If it's going to help you. But let's get back to the topic though. It was a point in my life where I was messed up. I didn't have nothing. I didn't even know where I was gonna get my next meal from. That's how bad the situation was. So I told myself, I said, I got to change this. And I kept praying and praying to God and just hoping that He send me a sign, a success, or something I can do to better my situation. And one day I woke up and I told myself, you got to do what you got to do to feed your family. I had a lot of different options, a lot of different roads to take. But I also didn't want to depend on nobody for nothing. I always had a bad thing with that, trying to depend on people. I had to be at the bottom of the barrel to actually ask you for something. Because at the end of the day, we all struggling, we all going through something. And I don't want to be a burden to nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a grown man, as an adult. So, I had a few options. And I said, you know what? A grown man got to do what he got to do. So this was my next move, right? I had a couple bucks saved up. So I had to do what I had to do. And every day I went to the store and promoted my business. I ain't gonna get deep and down to what I had going on. But if you from the streets, you know where I'm coming from with it. So I sat at this gas station. I maybe went up to that gas station probably for, I say, like 30 days, and I just promoted my business. And one thing about that is you got to give first. So not only that I was promoting, I was giving, giving, giving. I wasn't really seeing no progress at first. Just maybe went on for probably maybe a month, maybe 2 months at the most, before I actually started seeing progress out of the situation. But it was one day that I got up and I went to the same store that I usually go to. And it was a homeless man. He came up to me and he asked me, and this is crazy because at this time I had a place to lay my head. You know what I'm saying? I had a place where I can go and feed myself, bathe, and all that. This person didn't even have a place to live. They was actually sleeping on the concrete every night. And he walked up to me and said, I see potential in you. He said, what do you do for a living? And I looked at him at first kind of like, why are you asking me this? You can't do nothing to better my situation. Like I said, at this time, I was fucked up. So I'm like, I answered the question and told him what, you know what I'm saying? And then he came back and said, You ever think about investing in your dreams? You ever think about getting out of your comfort zone? Because I let him know what I was doing. Actually, you can see what I was doing, what I had going on. And that was crazy that he said that to me. Because I was scared to go out of my comfort zone. You know, I was like stuck in a box. Like I said, I had 2 or 3 options that I was relying on. But when the homeless man walked up and asked me that specific question, it sparked a flame. It just sparked something. It's just like everything happened for a reason. You never know how the message gonna come to you, but God work in mysterious ways. A lot of times things are sent to you. You may not know why at that moment, but like they say, all good things come to those who wait. So let me get back to the story, right? So when he mentioned step out of your comfort zone to me, at this time I'm a hustler, right? A hustle. So a job wasn't even on my mind at the time. So when he said that, like I said, it clicked something in my brain. I'm like, even though I'm doing what I'm doing, ain't nothing wrong with some honest, legit money in the process, right? Because like I said, at this time, I'm still kind of fucked up. I really ain't got nothing too much going on. I'm trying to find a way to make some money. So I'm promoting and doing what I got to do to make my bread. So I wasn't signed up and got me a little job on the side too. So I'm hustling and I got a job. But it still seemed like I'm hitting the bottom of the road. You know, it seemed like maybe a couple other weeks down the line I'm doing kind of better. Then bills pop up and then, you know, you still got to buy groceries and gas and everything was so high at the time where I was still finding myself behind. Like, man, I'm doing everything I can do. Why I ain't getting ahead? You know what I'm saying? I had to sit back and think for a minute. Like, what am I doing wrong? And I really sit back and thought about it. Like, if I'm seeing a little progress now, I might need to go harder. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to put more time in because I actually wasn't spending too much time on doing what I was doing. And like they always say, you got to be dedicated and motivated to get through in life. So instead of me doing this for 3 or 4 hours a day, I start doing it 7 to 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours, like a real job when I wasn't at work. I was doing what I was doing, hustling, making my money, getting paid when I wasn't at work. But I start going harder. When I did that, the results tripled. Something rung in my head again. Ding, ding. Okay. Now let me know that when you want something, you got to really get up and push for it. There'd be days I used to be tired. Days I didn't want to do it. Days I really wasn't motivated to get up and continue to do what I was doing. But the ambition in me wouldn't let me fail. So every day I wake up, I pray first like I still do. And then I would head out to try to make some money early. I wouldn't wait till 2 or 3 o'clock to get out. I started getting out at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. As soon as I finish breakfast, I get out and start promoting. Even before I was heading to work, I was still getting out promoting, making some money on the side before I even get to work. Then it got so good to where I didn't have to even work no more. But I still stacked up enough money for rainy days just in case I had something put aside. So I noticed everything started getting better. The money flow was coming through. And another thing I noticed was a lot of people that wasn't fucking with me at first started trying to find themselves, trying to come around more, trying to stay in touch more. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you down and people around you, them are the most genuine people that you want around you when you actually make it somewhere. You don't want all the people coming around you that ain't been around you when you didn't have nothing, because it's letting you know it's a motive. The only reason why they're around you because you making some money, because you got something now that they want. And them ain't the type of people that you want around you. You want people around you when you ain't got shit. Them the people that really love you. People that's going to try to help you and push you to get up when you're down. Them the people that you want around you. So I started noticing a lot of crumb snatchers. A lot of people that don't really fuck with me was coming around, acting like they love me, because they was seeing a lot of materialistic things, the cars, the clothes, the bank rolls. They want to drink, smoke, or do whatever they wanted to do. And if they came around me, they had an opportunity to do it. So it was pros and cons to the situation. But the thing about that whole thing is I learned. And I seen how people really was and how people would really switch up on you over a dollar bill, over some money. People don't even treat you the same when you ain't got shit. They don't treat you the same. Look at me. They don't treat you the same. Money is the rule of all evil. It even brings evil people around once you're successful. But let me get back to the story though. Everybody was happy, whatnot. I ended up catching a case. So I ended up going to jail for like close to 2 years. When I came back home, I still had my place, but it was back at square one again. I was fucked up again. I had a little something, but I didn't have as much as I had when I went to jail, right? But back to square one. I've been here before. I done been at the bottom and then came all the way to the top. I done had fake friends around me when I had something, but vanished when the money vanished, when the partying was over, when it was no longer handouts and give-me's. You see this. So the second time around, right? When I get back out, I notice a lot of people not around once again. Now this right here tells a lot. In my mind, I knew I was going to get everything back in doubles, triples, whatever you want to call it. But I was trying to see who was really riding for me for real. I knew that when I was in jail because wasn't too many people around, wasn't too many people writing me letters. They wasn't really sending me nothing. I wasn't hearing from too many people that was around me every day when it benefited them. Came back home and everybody acted like we was still on the same level. They was acting like I ain't even been to prison. And I'm blunt. So when they come around, when I come home, they come around, I'm like, where you been? Oh man, I couldn't find your information, man. I didn't know what to do, man. I didn't even know you went down, man. Man, it was all on the news. You ain't gonna know what happened. They come to crumb eaters again. He go to handouts again. He go to fake friends again. Everybody came back around that I didn't see or didn't hear from when I left and was gone for a couple years. So you know what I did? I cut them all off. Cut them all off. One thing you learn is when you at the bottom, people show their true colors. People show how they really feel about you. And when you get back to the top, all the fake love, all the bullshit, all the misuse, all the negative energy from the people that you once loved come back around. But this time, you know what the smart thing about it this time is? You gotta vanish. You gotta cut them off. You gotta move different. You gotta know your worth. You gotta know who real. And you also gotta move on with your life without them motherfuckers. If you took or learned anything from this video, this message, I need you to hit like, comment, share, and most definitely subscribe. This is Storytelling with the King. Until next time, y'all stay focused out there, man. And know who really for you and who ain't. I'm out.